Good morning and welcome to the Independent Republic of Mike Graham on a day that I certainly thought we would never see in this country, a day when people who work in our medical business, the National Health Service, have actually taken deliberate action to make life miserable for people, ordinary people of this country. People who have taken their time to clap for the NHS, people who have supported the NHS all their lives, people who have paid taxes all their lives into a system which now barely works for anyone, right? But here we have today paramedics. The day after nurses went out on strike yesterday and refused to treat people, we now have paramedics, people who drive ambulances, people who work at the very sharp end of emergency healthcare, saying, don't do anything dangerous because your life may be at risk. We won't be able to help you because we're on strike, because we want more money, because we are the people who keep this country together. Well, I've got some news for you people who are on strike today. You are an absolute and utter disgrace, because what you've done is you put people's lives at risk. You put people's lives in danger. I said this would happen. I said that if you did take this action, you would be seen as callous, you would be seen as not in any way interested in the people of this country or the health of this nation, that you would merely be seen as greedy. You would merely be seen as people not who have had enough of a system that doesn't work, but who just want a bit more money, because that, in the end, is what it's all about. Union leaders have now said, the Unite Union in particular, that yes, the price to pay in people's lives is a price worth paying in order to get more money. I think it's unbelievable what this country has become. The NHS worship has finally gone too far. The cult of the NHS must now be destroyed. It has to change. We cannot go on like this, right? All you have to do is look in the newspapers this morning to see a picture, the like of which I never thought I would ever see as well. This, in the Sun today, a 93-year-old woman left to die on the floor of a care home. She fell over, she broke her hip. 25 hours she was lying there. Imagine if that was your mother. Imagine if that was your father. Imagine if that was your sister or your brother. Absolutely unbelievable. Or your auntie or your granny. She lay there for 25 hours because an ambulance couldn't get to her. And that, my friends, I'm afraid, is an absolute and utter disgrace. The NHS ought to be ashamed of itself. Paramedics ought to be ashamed of themselves. We're going to talk to a paramedic this morning, somebody who's worked in the business for 22 years. He's so fed up, he spoke to us the other day, that he wants to get out because he doesn't understand what's happened to the caring, sharing world that the NHS used to live in. Because right now, it seems as though the NHS is in the grip of a bunch of left-wing extremist union leaders who are determined to bring down this Tory government and will do so on the blood and the wreckage of human beings who cannot be fixed, who cannot be picked up, who cannot be transported to hospital and who cannot be saved. Why? Because they must be sacrificed on the altar of trade union extremist Labour policy. Unbelievable. Sir Keir Starmer's got nothing to say about it. The Labour Party are nowhere on this. The Tories say, we have offered you a pay deal that you don't like. It's your fault and it's your head on which this will blame. Because you cannot refuse to serve people if you're in the National Health. You should not be allowed to strike. It's as simple as that. We'll be talking about that with a great many people. Nick Dubois is here, former Conservative MP, of course. He'll have plenty to say about it. Jamie Jenkins will give us the statistics about it as well. We'll also be talking about Netflix, who think apparently it's a great idea to reenact Princess Diana lying in a coffin, dead. Prince Harry, any thoughts? This is talkTV. Let's get it on.